Leaving Glacier National Park felt a little like leaving a conversation before it was finished. But the road home doesn't wait. And after weeks of heading north, we finally turned the car around and started pointing it back toward California, which meant crossing Montana the long way, through wide valleys, past rivers we didn't know the names of, and into the kind of country that makes you forget how far you still have to go. We're here at a KOA in Dillon, Montana, and it's pretty cool. There's a nice river here. Rocky's gonna sit on the bench to show how small it is.
Whoa, no break.
Then look at their bench, what they get. In the summer of 1805, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark passed through this exact valley. They'd come up the Missouri River from St. Louis, crossed the Great Plains, and were now pushing into territory that no American mapmaker had ever charted. There's a Compass Rose monument in town, marking the route of the Corps of Discovery, sitting quietly in the middle of a place that, for most of American history, has been pretty easy to drive past without stopping. The next day, we crossed back into Idaho and found something we hadn't seen anything like on the entire trip. City of Rocks National Reserve sits in a high basin in southern Idaho near the Utah border. And the name is as literal as it gets. Ancient granite formations rise out of the valley floor like the ruins of something enormous. Spires and towers and rounded boulders the size of buildings, some of them pushing 60 feet into the air. Some of the granite here formed 2.5 billion years ago.
I thought it said wizard.
City of Rocks has a more recent kind of history too, and it's written right on the rocks themselves.
19th century Americans believed in manifest destiny, the divine right and patriotic duty to expand the nation from the Atlantic to the Pacific. They pushed west along the Oregon, California, and Mormon trails to acquire free or cheap fertile land and to carve out a Western America. The City of Rocks became a major landmark along the California Trail during the largest mass migration in American history. Immigrants started their trek in early spring from western Missouri. Following the Oregon Trail, immigrants passed charted landmarks, then followed the Snake River to the California cutoff at Raft River. Between 1843 and 1882, nearly 250,000 immigrants traveled through the Silent City, more people than the current population of Boise.
Thousands of wagons passed through here, and as they did, travelers would pull out axle grease, the thick black lubricant that kept their wagon wheels turning, and write their names on the rock faces. Some of those inscriptions are still there, names, dates, places people had come from. A 170-year-old message written in grease on a billion-year-old rock. There's something almost absurd about it, and also something quietly moving. Ordinary people in the middle of an extraordinary journey, just wanting to leave a mark. To say, we were here. We made it this far. We understood the feeling. We didn't write anything on the rocks. But we stood there for a while, reading the names of people long gone in a place that made everything feel both very small and very long. The car was packed. California was still a day away. But standing here at the end of the longest trip we'd ever taken, it felt less like an ending and more like the part of the story where you finally understand what it was actually about. We'd gone looking for national parks. We found something bigger. A country full of places that had been shaped and fought over and stolen and loved and protected and named and renamed by more people than any sign or brochure would ever have room for.
So we are on a freeway for the first time in a while, and we are leaving City of Rocks. I liked it a lot. Sort of like a mix between Joshua Tree and the Sierra Nevadas. Now we are going to the Golden Spike, right? Golden Spike of Utah. It's a National Historic Site. It should be exciting and fun. And after that, we're going to a KOA in Salt Lake City. I'm excited. Okay, bye.